Hello, welcome back. Before I go with the Natsuki and Sayori route, I've already finished like Yuri and Monica to an extent. And I think I'll continue with going with Kazori and finally get that what I kind of wanted to do for a very long time. Finally do that. And I'll focus on the other two at some point. Liz, I wonder if... Oh, Kazori messaged me. Because I've been wanting to do that for a long time. What was her voice, though? Hi, Mark. Something like that. Would you like to have lunch together? That would be lovely. Would you like to meet? Where would you like to meet? We should just meet in your classroom. Which room are you in right now? No, that's okay. I'll come to you. Which room is yours in? Please, I would not want you going out of your way. I am the one who asked you after all. What room should I look for? How about a compromise? Let's both find a room to meet in. Room 124. In the western wing. That way we're both mildly inconvenienced. How does that sound? It takes a while for Kazori to reply back. Okay, I will meet you there. Smile. Well, I guess that settles that. There are only scattered smatterings of people milling about, most either already headed to lunch or headed there right now. Thankfully, it seems most don't pay me any mind. I keep my eyes on the classroom numbers, going down the list one by one to the sound of my soles against the tiled floors. 133, 132, 131, 127, 126, 125. Huh. There's a couple of kids I don't recognize in front of the door to classroom 124. They're peeking into the classroom through the little window in the door. Are they spying on Kazori? Fuck's sake. Do these kids have nothing better to do? I think they're whispering to each other, but I can't hear what they're saying over the sound of the rain beating against the window. Hesitantly approach them, arms hugged tightly to my torso as if to appear as non-threatening as possible. Excuse me. My greeting gives them a slight start, but they quickly recover and offer me friendly smiles. Ah, oh, you're the kid who's been hanging out with that Kukujin, aren't you? Kukujin. What's she like? I tried talking to her once, but I could hardly understand the things she was saying. Yeah, she's always alone too, both at lunch and during class. Kinda sad, isn't it? I'm actually here to join her for lunch, so if you don't mind... Aw, how sweet of you! There's something off-putting about how she said that. Aw, how sweet of you. Say, you two aren't like a thing, are you? What? No! I grip my grip on myself tightens as I feel warmth spread across my face. Okay, but you want to be, right? Isn't that why you're here? No, that's not how you think. Not what this is about at all. All right, that's enough. Let's just get to lunch. Both of them turn and leave. I hear the guy laughing quietly to himself as they do so, while the girl delivers hushed admonishments. The classroom is completely empty, save for, of course, Kazori, who's seated at a desk by the window. I'm happy those shitters outside at least didn't hold me up for too long. She offers me a friendly wave and a smile. I pull a chair out from one of the other desks and seat myself across from her. Thank you for coming. No, thank you. She smiles sweetly at me, and the conversation thankfully doesn't degrade into an infinite back and forth of reciprocating politeness. I watch as Kazori retrieves a plastic clamshell container from her bag. She places it on the desk before her and opens it, surprising me with the obscuring cloud of steam that emerges from within. How is her meal still hot? She must have noticed the confusion on my face because she quickly explains. As part of my exchange program, I sometimes need to report directly to my teachers. Most often they are in the teacher's lounge during lunch. They kindly allow me to borrow the microwave while I am there. Oh, that's nice of them. Maybe I ought to make note of that. I take another look at her lunch and see it as Japanese-style chicken katsu curry. She eats it with a fork rather than chopsticks. And what of your lunch, Max? Have you not brought any? Don't mind me. I had a big breakfast. Kazori's face betrays her feelings of disappointment as she shakes her head vehemently. Unacceptable! You must have 3 meals a day, Max. I would be a shameful host if I were to allow you to starve. Like I said, I won't be starving. Oh god, I don't want to say more on that one. Sorry, more? Sorry, more. I know this line of the A. In German certainly means that it's like said long more, maybe then. Open your mouth. I do as Kazori commands, and she stabs with a fork through a good 4 or so cuddles of chicken katsu covered in a generous helping of curry rouge and rice. Oh, give me a second. Oh wow. She messily shoves the entire mass into my open maw and giggles when a large percentage of the rice and the rouge ends up on my face and lips before handing me a paper napkin. The flavors are delectable. There's always been something so perfect about chicken katsu and curry together. The crispness of the fried panko chicken batter soaking in the curry rouge, and the combined flavors of all being absorbed by the rice underneath. Perfection! Certainly nothing the cafeteria is capable of, surely, which leads me to ask. Ooh, we have a CG of Kazori. Should I keep those here? And save that for Natsuki now? And Monica is kind of just with Yuri there. And with Sayori, I've seen Sayori had a few CGs too. Maybe I just keep it there. I might need to save some things then, if I think they're important. Nowhere. I made it myself. Since landing here in Japan, I have taken it upon myself to learn the cuisine that is common here. That's incredible. This is incredible. I think this is the best katsu curry I've ever had. Katsu? Yeah, I'm not sure at all how to say it, Max. Your kind words are appreciated. Is that what that means? There's a fly harassing me. No. Oh. She's just having fun. My face goes slightly pink as I remember I've been remiss in my manners. Sorry. And thank you for the food, so thank you. I'm not sure if this is also like signifying that it's long or... Sorry. You are so thin. If you visited my family in Iran, we would not allow you to leave until you have gained a few kilograms in weight. I smell at the mental image that evokes, even as the heat refuses to leave my face. I don't know why, but the thought feels so very familiar. Your family, they sound like lovely people. It does not always feel that way, but I am sure that is true for most families. My mother, she would be furious if she knew I was having lunch with a boy right now. She's very traditional type, I'm guessing. That is one way to describe her. I prefer the term Togn-esang. I also don't want to use any type of other app to like say those things because they can also mispronounce. Which means I will let you figure that out for yourself. I wonder, does Kazori already see me as someone close enough to visit her family? I mean, maybe she was just speaking in general. And of course, such a thing is insanely unlikely to ever actually happen. I live here in Japan, and her home is in Iran. A place I cannot even imagine. A place that in all likelihood will feel like an alien planet to me. But I'm sure Kazori felt the same way about studying in Japan as well, and yet she took the plunge away. Anyway, she took it away. I wonder if this is how she imagined her time in Japan would go. Kosei texted me before about how isolated she is all the time. And she herself told me that most people don't make the effort to approach or interact with her. From now on, I need to be better than that. I need to put in the effort for Kazori's sake. Yes, I do plan on doing that this route. Like, Izumi is cool and all, but he'll be fine. I don't feel too much for him. And Kosei? Was it? Kosei, yeah. I feel like he'll be fine too. Because although she smiles, I can see clear as day the loneliness in it. Or maybe I'm just projecting. Are you daydreaming, Max? Sorry. I must have been staring or something. Sorry. Moosh? I'm not sure if it's Mosh or Moosh. Mosh? Bakoradet. I'm not sure if I'm not sure exactly how the pronunciation goes. If I should maybe follow, like, for example, Japanese, I feel like specific letters are closer to German than English, so it's a bit easier sometimes there to sometimes imagine what a word could sound like, but here I'm not sure. Do not be sorry. I promise I have taken no offense. Even with her forgiveness thusly secured, he continues to invade my face. Is there something in particular you were thinking about? Should we just be honest with her? And just ask? I need to save these things. I feel like this is... I'll wait for Izumi either way. I'll have decided I'll just keep doing that, so I might as well just keep going here. Because I kind of want to ask if she feels lonely. Being so far from family and your family and friends, alone in the strange school where people look at you and whisper things, where people don't even try to understand you because you look different and speak different, and it's for that very reason they should try to understand. I feel the lump in my throat growing as I continue on. That has to be so hard. You are trying to understand, no? I look away, my mind scrambling to put together a way to convey everything I want to say at this moment within a timely manner. I inhale and exhale deeply. When you told me most people don't make the effort to talk to you or understand you, that somehow everyone in the school of hundreds just avoids you, that seemed insane to me. That is because you are a very kind person. I don't think it's even a matter of kindness. I don't think most people, when they choose to avoid and isolate you, I don't think that they even see it as unkind. I don't believe they even think about it in the first place. Probably not. They might even forget that you might feel that way. She simply looks at me with that sad smile of hers as I continue on. I'm not sure at this point if she even knows what I'm going on about. Maybe neither do I. It's insane. I repeat this, fist tightly clutching at my pant legs as I stare down at them. I can only pray that somehow, through the language barrier and my own incoherence, the sentiment is somehow conveyed. I look back up to Kazori's glittering onyx eyes with a huh. They round, umbral gemstones of her soul are moist, almost ready to begin bleeding freely, but they do not. Translated, this weather is for two people. I suppose what I meant is that on a cold and rainy day, there is the best time to hug a loved one. That is the best time to love to hug one. Well, I have the other save, it will be fine. As I rise from my seat, Kazori responds in turn. This weather's for two people. But what if we're both soaked through so completely that there is no warmth left for either of us to lend? Is that why it feels so cold? By the time we pull apart, Kazori is smiling brightly again. I smile back. So, do you see? I am not lonely. I avert my gaze, my face heating up a little. If I can be the one to chase her loneliness away, I suppose that makes it all worth it. The remainder of our lunchtime minutes pass with comfortable, idle chatter until the bell rings. Time for evening classes. As I gather my things, my mind is continuously occupied by thoughts of Kazori and her time here in Japan. She is so very strong to be able to deal with the pressure and the isolation from her peers without ever giving in, to be satisfied with what meager friendship I can offer alone. I, of course, can't take all the credit. I know Kosei's been looking out for her too. Still, I ought to support her however I can. We step out into the halls. Kazori gives me one more quick hug and smiles sweetly at me before departing, sending a whole lot of red shooting towards my face. I throw a bashful smile of my own her way before watching her singular figure disappear into the shifting mass of indistinct faces and voices. Let's walk with Izumi. How is your day? Oh, you know how it goes. Had some pleasant company over lunch, at least. With a heart. You know how I mentioned my mother would be furious if she knew I was having lunch with a boy? I think if she ever met you and got to know you, that probably settled most of her nerves. Most of them, Well, you know, she's never going to be completely okay with the idea of me spending time with anyone except her. I think I can relate at least somewhat. To her situation or to mine? Fuck. Interesting. It says here my mother's possessive too, but apparently the lie is it's hard letting go of people. But our mother is hardly ever there. Let's just say I won't be mentioning to Mom that I had lunch with a girl today. Oh, possessive in that way, huh? Haha, she must spend a lot of time sweating the girls away from you then. Not really. Thank you for the katsukuri, by the way. It was delicious. You are very welcome. That is a high compliment indeed, coming from someone who lives in Japan. And hey, whenever you want to share lunch again, I'm willing. Maybe next time you can show me how it's really done. I may just take you up on that. How is that such a nice girl doesn't have any friends here? People have got all the wrong priorities. I do feel like it's... Let's go for the hot chocolates. Hot chocolate. Before long, my order of hot chocolate arrives. The sweet aroma of the chocolate warps upward. I wanted to say with the wrong priorities. It's like what he said earlier, that it's kind of... Maybe they just do have kind of different priorities, to be frank. It's just sometimes kind of difficult to say that they are right or wrong priorities. Because sometimes you could say, like, you should prioritize this friend of yours, but if you don't prioritize yourself once in a while, you're kind of gonna get... It's kind of not going to work anymore at some point. And due to that, you can't completely say that it's a wrong priority that today you choose to not go to your friend. Even though they are a nice person and we're kind of looking forward to it. As long as you know that they aren't going to do anything rash, I don't really see any point in shaming a person for saying, I kind of need some time for myself today, even though the person was really looking forward to seeing you. Before long, my order of hot chocolate arrives. The sweet aroma of the chocolate wafts upward along with the drifting ghosts of steam. Little Halloween kids with bags full of sweets. The gigantic marshmallows floating at the top, stained with cocoa brown, were an unexpected addition, but an entirely welcome one. Even so, patience is needed, lest I burn my tongue. But once it has sufficiently cooled, the hot chocolate is predictably splendid, sweet and warm, the embrace of a loving family on a frigid winter's morning. Souls and Swords 3. Let's go through that one more time. Souls and Swords is the perfect kind of game to just pick up and play anytime. Since it's a fighting game, I can hop on arcade mode and start beating up on bots. Since I haven't unlocked her story mode yet, I pick Vasiliki, a female warrior from the hidden Greek city of Sparta who fights with a spear and shield. My first opponent is Ryuzaki, the obligatory samurai character in a series that mostly takes place in Europe. In a series, most likely. He's one of the more basic fighters, but can switch things up with his stance mechanic. Not I end up seeing the CPU utilize it. He goes down in no time at all. Vasiliki's spacing tools and defensive flow sure is a force to be reckoned with. As I fight through the next couple of opponents, I find it difficult to ascertain what exactly her weaknesses really are. Maybe it's just cause the CPU sucks, but she seems pretty unstoppable. At least until I reach one of the arcade mode's much I almost said marginalized, but maligned mid-bosses. A gigantic animated statue. Maligned? Which, ironically enough, uses Vasiliki's model and animations, just scaled up with a stony texture overlay, and as usual, it's an absolute bitch to fight. Its vertical attacks are easy enough to sidestep using 8-way movement, but it's the horizontal attacks that I can't figure out the counterplay to, especially when its weapon is a long-ass spear. Guarding only works 2 or 3 times since its attacks eat up your guard gauge like it's nothing at all, so I just have to hope and pray I get good RNG on its attacks. Thankfully, it goes down after just 1 round, but you can bet your ass it'll make it the most annoying and stressful round possible. As I continue onward through the next set of fighters, the difficulty steadily increases. Good. Vasiliki didn't endure Spartan training just to be faced with whelps. Finally, I face one of the 3 final bosses you can get in arcade mode, Malice, the manifestation of the evil sword Calibolk, and the thousands of souls trapped within. There's a prominent theory that Malice is actually Eckhart Krauss, the protagonist and anti-hero of the first Souls and Swords game, which was called Soulbrand back then. But I'm too new to the series to make any educated guesses. It's weird how fanatical people get about the lore of the series, given it's a fighting game set in a nonsensical fantasy reality. No, it's completely valid. If only people had the same enthusiasm for actual good stories. Me, I just play for the cool mechanics and neat character designs. Well, you can enjoy a stupid story once in a while too. And that's Vasiliki's story mode unlocked. Gotta check that out sometime, even if it's no masterpiece of writing. It still manages to be entertaining, exactly, and some people will get passionate about anything that's entertaining. I don't know what Kazori meant. If anything, I should start to lose a bit of weight. And we're throwing out. Great. I've been thinking a lot about what the world is like outside of Sarubatu City, or even outside of Japan. I mean, obviously it can't be raining all over the world. Guess that'd just be downright apocalyptic. There wouldn't be a world left by now. And besides, Kaz already confirmed that it isn't like this in Iran, at least. I don't really know anything about the rest of the world. I mean, I know lots of cool food, drinks, movies, and games come from America. I know France and Italy made all the best desserts in the world, probably. I know China has a ton of cool-looking castles, and Russia has some of the most beautiful churches and cathedrals. But these are all surface-level touristy things, like Iran. When Kazori mentions that name, there isn't a single distinctive image that pops into my head. Like, I know it's probably my own fault. I'm sure Iran has a ton of different monuments, festivals, cuisine, and whatever else I'd be delighted to know. But again, that's all surface level. What are the people like? The culture? What do they value and respect? What fears and anxieties have seeped into the public conscious over innumerable generations? I wonder that about all the different places I've never been to. What are Mexicans like? Romanians, Ethiopians, Venadians. So many different humans, so far from each other. So different, yet so similar. But I guess the reason I fantasize so much about the world outside of Japan is because I wonder if in any of those places I would belong. Because I don't belong here. I don't. And it makes me wonder if I belong anywhere at all. This stark contrast with the fact that some people are different and they can still be similar. It's a stark contrast to, like, with the complexity and about with like what Monica had in my last route. And those are my shower thoughts for the day. We each brush off the towel against my we each. Let's do again the smiling trick and hope that maybe we smell. I have never watched TV here the first day. Oh, never mind. Oh, I don't think it was the first day. Oh, it's Kazori. Okay, so this was all the same. My heart beats a little faster in my chest as anger and indignation swell up inside of it, remembering those asswipes staring at her through the window in the halls. But I exhale, knowing an emotional outburst won't serve my point, if indeed there is one at all. The truth is, that's once again the same. Should I tell Sayatsuki to leave me alone? No, I will leave the mean options for anyone who wants to explore them. I won't go with the mean option. This we haven't really... Oh, this was with, Yuri. But we're gonna spend time with... I want to spend more time with Kazori. But I guess we can't. Well, in that case, let's either Kosei or Itsumi. Maybe we should go with Itsumi because I don't want to kind of go sway off to Monica again. Oh? Oh, it's Itsumi. Do I have the energy for this right now? Yo! So, like, sorry to bring the... I forgot what I wanted to write. Have his name. This on you suddenly. But can you help me with my English homework? Oh. So this is why he wanted to be my friend so badly. I know we've barely even hung out or anything before, but it's not like I'm expecting your help for free. Lunch is on me. You know of the McDiggity's just across the street from the east side of the campus, right? I do. Awesome, let's meet there then. I'm ordered lots of burgers and fries and a couple milkshakes too, cause you're way too skinny, bro. That's not necessary. There's no further reply after that. Jesus. I guess I have to show up now, if only so this guy didn't waste his money. Seems Itsumi and I aren't the only ones with the idea to eat here instead of at the cafeteria. It's crowded as hell in here. It's mostly other kids in the Sarabatu high uniform too. Can't blame them for preferring fast food over cafeteria food. That was the first. I just want to make sure, okay, maybe we're like also. I think that's what I might have to do to go the Sayori route, at least from the little snippet I chose to look at. It's mostly other kids in the Sarabatu high uniform too. Can't blame them for preferring fast food over cafeteria. Of course, even amid the throng of hungry school kids, Itsumi's chosen booth is easily distinguishable by the sheer amount of foodstuffs upon the surface of its table. Yo! Come on, sit down. We got a lot of homework and burgers to burn through. I do as Itsumi commands, sitting down across from him. I examined his spread he apparently all purchased himself before I even got here. Several piles of fries and 4 burgers. These aren't the little ones either. They're a huge double quarter-pounder kind with all the fixins. Jeez, I hope he's planning on eating all of these. Itsumi unwraps one of the burgers and takes it into his hands. I notice his English textbook is already open, so I take mine out of my bag as well. Might as well save over these things. Oh, maybe I should have. Nah, I might need that for Sayori images. I think. Yeah, you can just stay here for a while. I'm sorry. So, what part of the homework are you stuck on? All of it, I think. Really? You weren't bad in class. Your pronunciation was serviceable. That bad, huh? I feel awful for having nothing to say to that, but maybe it's better than lying. This Izumi kid really sucks at English. Even if I was decent at pronunciation, though, that kind of really doesn't apply to homework. The homework's all about finding the meaning and imagery and all that fancy mumbo-jumbo of these stories. And I kind of suck even harder at that. I mean, take a look at this passage. Okay. I wonder if these are like actual Japanese, like from actual Japanese books or something. His pronunciation is so all over the place that it takes me a second to realize which passage he's even referring to. But Wait, are they like Japanese to also be like... Usually, we have like, usually they're speaking English, and when they're then speaking English, they're reading Japanese for us? I only know like a few symbols, few characters, so... I mean, one second we're giving birth, and the next we're talking about murderers or something. Who is this Shion person anyway? It's Zion, not Shion. Zion, not Shion. Shion? Yeah, that's what I said. Shit. I've got my work cut out for me, huh? I turned my attention to the textbook in my hand, flipping the pages until my eyes land upon the passage in question. Okay, so... First off, Zion is not a person, it's a place. And so is the daughter of Zion, which is where you... Oh my god, how do you say that in English? Jerusalem. Here, Jerusalem is personified as a woman adorned in jewelry, cloaked in gold and red, with the finest makeup and the most lovely perfumes. All things transcend to God. This is meant to symbolize how the Jewish people had become decadent and obsessed with aesthetics, creature comforts, riches, and luxuries. Even if those things were served on the backs of their own people, or those less fortunate on the social ladder. God had grown furious that the Jewish people themselves, once oppressed, had lost themselves to greed, vanity, and false idols and meaningless rituals. This ends, of course, the same it always ends: fire and ruin. The foreign powers Jerusalem had to rely on descended to pillage, burn, and deface every monument to their perceived greatness. Thus does the daughter of Zion cry out as if in childbirth. For God's wrath may be terrible, but it is never final. What comes after the agony is the miracle of new life. In New Jerusalem, I really don't know right now how to pronounce it in English. I really don't. Humbled and wizened by suffering, yet still living and breathing. Did you get all that? Nope. Huh? I mean, that's a pretty dark way to teach your own people a lesson, right? Letting foreigners come and burn everything down and kill a bunch of people? That's just how God operates, I guess. Staring down at the words in the textbook, running my fingers over the finely textured page. This isn't even the cruelest thing God has done to his own people either. You'd think there'd be some kind of rule against using religious text as literature material for an English class. Why is that? In the West, the school's board of directors would be crucified for implying that the Bible is a piece of fictional literature on the same level as Moby Dick or Frankenstein. I mean, but this stuff is obviously fictional, right? All the cool giant rings of fire and eyes, and that one magic sword, and chopping babies in half. Shintoism is way more grounded in reality. Like, you can see the influence of the kami in everything, from the wind to the sunlight to how smooth river rocks are. Plus, Shintoism isn't always such a bummer like all the time. I mean, all we gotta do is dance and make music and drink sake and whatnot. No fire and brimstone and babies getting cast against rocks, you know? Never did I imagine I'd be discussing religion with a hyperactive child this evening. I would have to ask my friends about, like, Japanese, like, religion more. He did help me a little bit while we were watching Madoka Magica with, like... I don't want to spoil anything, but there's specific things that make more sense when you consider, like... Specific things seem even worse when you put it through the perspective of Japanese culture. I think we're getting off track. Right. Learning English. That's what we're doing. I mean, I'm not religious, so it's easy for me to say specific things. It just kind of feels weird to sometimes say these things because it's like... like, I don't really see any point in saying religion shouldn't exist, as long as it makes someone happy and doesn't hurt anyone. So even if I feel like a lot of things in the Bible are cruel, I just feel like it might sound harsh to some people. I know I have a friend who kind of believes like in gods and stuff. It's not the Christian God, but it's like, give me a second to drink. He's fine with it because he perceives it the same way. He just perceives it a bit differently, but some others might be offended. I'm not sure if it's like offensive to say that I think the things there are pretty violent and very cruel from God to do. Because they probably have like a different perspective on it. On the other hand, if they sometimes perceive these things as good things, specific things done, then I kind of don't know if you feel that safe around that person in general. It's just, I wonder, do like some of them also deem it as cruel, but that's just the way you learn? And it led to good things in the future, so it was worth it? Something along those lines? Or is it with the like, there's like, I've heard about it before, where it's like God sees it all and knows what will end up the best, what action to take. Do they perceive it's like this is the only way it was actually capable of working that way? Because otherwise God would have known that it wouldn't have worked, and so he had to take those measures? I don't know. I don't know how many people with religious background even like in the fandom. But I don't really have to know that. I actually don't really know that many religious people like personally. I feel like this is actually one group where I hardly have any experience with. Generally in Germany, I feel like there are still of course religious communities and religious people. I just feel like, I don't know if it's my age group, but it's difficult finding a lot of people that like are really convinced fully of God and fully follow, well, it would be difficult to fully follow the Bible, but fully believe what the Bible says. No, that's what you're doing. Oh right, he is learning English. Let's try a simpler one. Turn to page 89. I take a moment to scan the passage before I open my mouth and recite it. I think it might be intentional to, like, when I try to pronounce it, it also sounds stupid. At least I... give me a moment. No, I feel like I know only the simplified... So I only the simplified characters because... Or maybe I'm overlooking the car right now. Dude, how do you even make those sounds with your tongue? Pronunciation is what isn't what's important right now. Can you tell me what Monsieur Hercule Poirot was trying to convey? Life is unpredictable. You're not far off, actually, but it's hard. What Poirot really means to say is that humans are unpredictable, and thus is life. Which once again goes against what Monica had last. I recorded the last episode to Monica's route pretty recently. It's impossible to know the kind of people you'll end up running into, or how someone else's plans might intersect with your own. Humans aren't perfectly rational, and we're no exception. Yep. Hell, humans are so impossible to predict that you can't even tell how you yourself would react to something at any given time. Our emotions rule us in the moment. After I finish speaking, Izumi simply stares at me with an unreadable expression on his face. Sorry. Was I rambling? No, it's just... Your eyes sparkle when you're talking about something you're passionate about, Max. Where'd that even come from? I feel my face heat up, so I shift my gaze back to the textbook in order to better conceal it. Anyway, this quote makes sense given how Poirot approaches his role as detective. He doesn't look for the fingerprints or the cigarette ashes. He seeks the human element, the psychological explanation for why a human being would commit acts such as murder, and how all the surrounding humans might have driven things to that point. I look back at Itsumi and see him staring at me again. What's his deal? You know, Max, I think you're gonna go really far. Huh? Like, has anyone actually told you how brilliant you are? Not just in terms of school or whatever. I mean the way you really care about the stuff you care about. When I care about something, I tend to care about it, yes. Well, what I mean is, I've never seen someone care this deeply about Poirot and the Bible of all things. You have the same look in your eyes as some of the guys on the soccer team. I mean, for most of them, soccer is just a way to pass the time or to get in shape or to draw the chicks in. But for guys like Vitari and a few others, sure, they dig the girl too, but it's like their true love is for the game itself, the same way you are for books. Itsumi, do you not share their same passion for soccer? Itsumi's expression shifts, his eyes darting away to avoid meeting mine. Have I perhaps struck a nerve? Give me a moment. I hope it's not noticeable that there will be a cut in a moment. It's only been a few days with my new curtains, and I already managed to break them. Well, that's just life, I guess. Becoming a superstar athlete, that's my old man's dream. Suffered some kind of spinal injury chasing that dream. After that, every athletic prospect of his was over and done with. So instead, he started his own business. Started slinging curry in some hole in the wall here in Sarabato. And he was damn good at it. Still is. Me and my sister, we grew up in the basement of that curry house. We would wake to the smell of cumin and fall asleep to it too. That always pushed me to focus on athletics from the day I was first enrolled in public school. And I was good. I am good, but I don't enjoy it. Not like the other guys do. Not like you enjoy your books and reading. So, what do you enjoy then? Food. I know, big surprise, right? That's what my dream has always been. Taking over Dad's curry house. My sister moved out about a year ago, or so ago. Got a job in Kyoto for some real estate firm. So it's just me and my dad running the place now, and he's getting old. Feels awful to say this, but I was relieved when this rain started, because it gave me an excuse. An excuse to give up on soccer. Izumi should... Well, of course I'm gonna say he should follow his own dreams. You should need an excuse to follow your dreams, but what should be and what is really intersect. Like you said, your dad's getting old. Soon he's gonna be needing your help more and more often. Perhaps then you could show him that your time is wasted on soccer practice. You can show him that you've got what it takes to run his curry house when he no longer can. I think you're underestimating just how stubborn my old man is. He believes that when he no longer can is when he's in a box under the dirt. Maybe you're right, but age is an erosion that weathers sharp rocks into smooth pebbles. Point is, if your dad doesn't see you with a future in the food industry, if he thinks that athletics is the only way forward for you, then show him how serious you are. Right now is the perfect opportunity to do so. Since your time isn't being occupied by practice, you can spend it running the business. And not just filling orders either, making decisions. Izumi flashes me a grateful smile after my little spiel is done with. I smile back as sweetly as I can, hoping the warmth of it could weld the world into his brain. The words into his brain, the world in which he cooks food. I think we've already established I don't have much of a future in academia. I'm not like you. I don't find any joy in learning brainy, complicated things. Once we graduate in 3 years, you're probably gonna move on to some big fancy university here in Sarubato, or maybe even Tokyo. Well, I'm gonna be skipping college and slinging the best damn curry in the city. Still, even though I know one day our paths are gonna take us different ways, I'd still like us to enjoy the next 3 years as good friends. More heat suddenly creeps into my face, rendering the words I speak into a trembling stammer. Yeah, and if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to continue being friends after we graduate as well. Heck yeah! You always be welcome for a bowl of curry as well. On the house, of course. I would have kind of liked to just have some more depth into like one of these people who do enjoy just like sports. Like, just because you enjoy sports doesn't mean you're one-dimensional. Like, I might not be into like sporty guys, but I know one of them, and he's still just a nice person with his own struggles and his own personality outside of sports. Even if he has like this friend group where it's like dude bro and stuff like that, it's like there is also more as well. Not that he's faking it with the others, it's just with the others he is like focusing on this part of what he likes doing, and with us it's focused on something else he enjoys doing. And with both groups, he's very open about his emotions and vulnerability. He's quite a vulnerable person as well, in spite of being very much into sports. He flashes that bold, confident smile of his once more, without a hint of the vulnerability earlier shown. I wonder if any of his numerous friends, classmates, and teammates have seen the side of him before. The more mellow, subdued Izumi that worries about the future. Now quit blushing like a schoolgirl and eat your damn burger! Izumi grabs the half-nibbled burger in my hand and forcibly stuffs it into my mouth. Now the bell's ringing somewhere in the distance. I hear the faintest, most distant tolling of the school bell. Tolling? Signaling the 10-minute warning for evening classes. Shit! We need to book it! Izumi and I both sling our bags over our shoulders and make for the school at full sprint. Even with our umbrellas, we ended up getting unfortunately damp as we flew as fast as our feet could take us against the wind and rain. Izumi, being the school star soccer player, is of course many magnitudes faster than I, and yet he stops and waits for me to catch up. I amble over towards him and begin having long and my and I amble over towards him, my breath having long since abandoned my lungs in spite of my trembling jelly-like legs. Look at the marathon runner! Bet this is the first workout you've gotten in a while, huh? That's obvious. He gives me a patient pat on the shoulder as I regurgitate the words in between ragged breath. Yeah, you should probably stick to the books. The two of us separate to our respective evening classes after exchanging friendly goodbyes. I wonder if I'll ever have dreams of my own. Chemistry class. I seat myself on the front desk in front of her. It hardly makes a creak. Yeah, I get that sense too. Ah, but we're seating yourself in front of her now. I'm gonna say fear I might load if it's not what I want. I kind of want to approach her and see if this time she might be more willing to try it. Okay, so she's nicer about it. Well, nicer about it. She didn't need to be nicer before. She's more calm about it now. Not to worry. As I have said before, my grasp on written Japanese is more than sufficient for complementing homework assignments. Completing homework assignments. The effort is greatly appreciated, however. If I did not know any better, I would say you were making excuses to spend time with me. I was doing that last time and I'll do it again! That wasn't what I... Sorry. Kazori's only reply is to reach out and pat my head a few times, causing my already warm face to heat even further. I will see you on Friday, Max. At least now I know someone from that class, even if that someone is a little hopeless at it. It's the... Of course, it's from Itsumi. Bro, I'm starved! We have Kazori and him now. Why'd you make me buy all those burgers if you were only gonna eat one of them all of a man? Huh? I didn't make you buy anything! Okay, maybe not physically, but you're still responsible. Like I said, you're way too skinny, bro. You should be eating more. Once I take over my dad's curry house, I'll be expecting you over every day. Yo, but thanks for the help with the English homework. I feel way smart already. I don't know why I'm screaming unnecessarily loud. Maybe I should start wearing glasses too. You think I'd look good in them? Nah, never mind. Lol, the guys on the soccer team are gonna be so jealous, dude. I'ma tell him the cool foreigner kid is tutoring me. Better watch out, bro. Pretty soon you're gonna have guns lining up at your doorstep begging for your time. Guys. Nah, I wouldn't do that to you, man. I'ma keep you all to myself. as my English tutor or whatever. And as a friend, you know. Because we're pals and everything, right, bro? Yeah, of course we are. Maybe he's afraid that he said something wrong because we're not responding. I do admire his ability to stamp out his own doubts entirely autonomously, without any prompting on my part. I mean, you've already tutored me with your skills. You could make a career out of this here in Japan, man. The hole in the crack in the wall. It seems after the first time I've played it, I guess it'll just remain there. Gentle slumber is all this body of mine craves at this very moment. Oh, I forgot to change my name. Well, honestly, the name I picked fits for Kazori as well. I guess we'll try for the others a different one. Gentle slumber is all this body of mine craves at this very moment. Yeah. Fortunately, after that lunch with Itsumi, I don't find myself at all hungry for dinner. Yeah. Whatever it is, I'd probably go great with a book at the library. I wonder what in the world am I gonna do after high school? It's true that I'm a straight A student, in all of my classes no less, but that's just it. It's the same for all of my classes. I don't have any one area I excel in or particularly enjoy. If one day I decided to be a chemist, there's probably no reason why I couldn't pursue that. But it's not like that's something I'm particularly passionate about. Maybe I should become an accountant. A physicist? A lawyer? There aren't any lawyering classes in Zarabato High. The point is, Sumira's right. I could probably go to college if I wanted to, and with a fat scholarship to pay for it all at that. But what the hell would I actually do in college? They say your freshman and sophomore years are for finding yourself, for finding that niche to fit into that I'm not sure I have. But I'm scared. Scared that I'm really just as empty inside as I think I am, that there is nothing that I truly excel at or even enjoy. Itsumi's lucky in that way. True, he's probably not moving on to college, but he's already found his calling at so young an age. I can cook well enough myself, but it's just a chore to me like any other. I don't enjoy the act itself like Itsumi does. What if I simply spent college aimlessly drifting as I am now, and with nothing to show for it at the end of it all? What if this half-living limbo is all my life will ever be? Of course, this is all assuming society hasn't collapsed under the weight of endless rainfall by then. Things aren't looking so good out there. Yeah, society doesn't look that well. I'm not sure society. But just generally the planet isn't doing too well out there. And those are my shower thoughts for the day. We're always going into this with a smile. You cannot stop me. Let's do the banana bread. As we're cleaning up after ourselves, the oven's chime sounds, calling our attention to the newborn loaf. The fragrantly sweet scent wafting from the warm oven is tastefully undercut by the aroma of the roasted walnuts. Said aroma only grows strong after Natsuki swings the oven door open, blasting our faces with a rush of heat and mouth-watering sweetness. Banana bread's brown crust steams in the oven's scorching heat, its texture lovely and satisfying just to look at. One can only imagine how it'll feel between my teeth. Yo, let's get this shit onto a chopping board! I slip mittens onto my hands and retrieve the steaming hot loaf from the oven, my olfactory sense taking in all the flavors bursting from the yellow innards peeking through. Ow, my neck! What a gorgeous specimen! The dark brown crust conceals the yellow cake-like texture within, which houses the mushed bananas and roasted walnuts both. Banana bread is at its best when it's fresh out of the oven, especially with butter. It melts upon the bread's soft yellow grain, infusing it with delicate flavor. Natsuki will get praised. I'm going to answer him. Just like on Tuesday, I noticed that girl from the library sitting in the back, silently reading a book, while every one of her classmates chatter idly amongst themselves. I wonder if she's lonely. There's Nakatani-sensei, the calculus teacher. I peer about the classroom as I gather my things into my bag and watch the others do the same, since both Kazori and the library girl are already gone. No point in me sticking around either. So we were looking away again. But we couldn't spend time with Kazori the other time. Let's go with Kosei. I wonder if Kosei's free right now. I wouldn't mind the company, plus maybe you can tell me more about the school. Hey Kosei, you busy right now? Even if I was, I would still make time for you, winky face. Why, do you fancy another noonday trias with yours truly? By that you mean spending lunch together? Then yes, I believe I would fancy that. In that case, we ought to convene somewhere more romantic than the cafeteria. How does the student council room sound? Romantic? I wasn't aware the student council room was romantic. Are you kidding? The air in that room is thick with love, unrequited or otherwise. The most intelligent and capable students in the school locked in a small room after hours. Sure, you can imagine the romantic tension. The more you describe it, the more dangerous this sounds. That's how you know it'll be fun. See you there. He seems very sure I'm going to show up. Not that I'd stand him up at this point. Cozy's pretty strange, but I can't deny his choice of venue is more appealing than the cafeteria. It'll be a lot more private at the very least. I can't stand sitting around in a public place for that long. At least when I'm in class, all the eyes are on the instructor for the most part. Maybe my fear of crowds is something Kosei picked up on, or he's just acting according to his whims. Wait, it'll be private. And he said the student council room is romantic. Don't tell me he's planning to fancy meeting you, you stranger. Mark, do you swing both ways? And by sheer dumb luck, I happen to run into the guy I'm looking for. Look at us, the two souls bound together by fate and mutual love for egg sandwiches, and the fact that we're headed for the same room. Know that for a fact, do you? I could have just as easily just ignored you, you know? Wait, I've returned to Max. Did it happen after the game quit on me? Well then, it's Max Mark now. The last name Mark. Or I'll just change it now for the time being. Oh, maybe it is because I loaded. I'll check that out next time when I load again to go with Sayori. I think I'll go with the Natsuki route last. I don't know, should I go spend more time with Natsuki last? Sayori would be interesting because I think it's going to be completely something else. Yeah, maybe I should go with Natsuki first then. I could have just as easily just ignored you, you know? To love is to make oneself vulnerable to being hurt by another, and yet be secure in the knowledge that they would never intentionally do so. I feel heat rising in my cheeks at that outrageously cringy remark. He's got to be doing this shit on purpose just to get a rise out of me. The ambiguity surrounds our most auspicious of meetings aside. I think you'll like it in a student council room. It's nice and quiet, and they have their own heater even. Thank you for inviting me. Very well then, let us be off. After walking down the halls for a little while longer, Kosei stops in front of one of the doors and knocks on it gently. Another moment passes before a female voice calls out inside. Midori. So we'll get to see a little bit of Midori. At least everyone who was curious will see a little bit more now from these. Kosei-kun? What was her... Kosei-kun? Is that you? Indeed it is, and I've brought a +1. Kosei... You know what I told you about bringing stray cats into the student council room? I know what you said, but this one happens to be very cute. And also a human. Kosei! Kosei! Don't just... Don't say things like that! A head of long, glossy black hair peers out from inside the student council chambers. Regarding me with suspicion hesitation, heat spreads across my face, and I quickly cast my gaze aside. The girl's brow furrows as she exhales exasperatedly, and she turns to Kosei for answers. Can you at least tell me its name? Perhaps you ought to be the one to do that. Oh wait, Let's do it ourselves. Sorry, my name is Mark. I'm not Max, okay? I'm... How did I not notice that it was Max? Kazori was saying it earlier when I was spending time with her, like, probably already last episode for everyone else. I'm not sure yet. Kazori was already saying Max, and I just didn't notice. Well, whatever. I'll take better care when I load next time. The girl from the student council chamber seems unfazed by the introduction. My already withered confidence continues to deflate with each millisecond of silence. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have. I'll just go. No, it's fine. I just have a lot of work to catch up on, and... Just promise me you won't make too much noise, Kosei-kun. Kosei peers at me for a moment, before giving a quiet, snorting chuckle. No, Midori-san, I don't imagine that'll be a problem. The girl, apparently named Midori, finds this answer sufficient. She retreats back into the student council chambers, presumably to return to her lunchtime duties. Kosei, meanwhile, exhales a sigh of relief at the girl's apparent approval. I think she likes you, Mark. Does she? I think tolerates me would be a more accurate descriptor. Let's not get bogged down in the particulars, shall we? Particulars. Never thought I'd end up seeing the inside of one of these rooms. On the window side of the long table is Midori, already back at work, tapping away on her laptop with a stack of papers at its side. She's wearing headphones, shutting out any disruptions. The room being as quiet as it is, I can faintly make out the sort of music she's listening to, which is... heavy metal? Huh. Well, if it helps her concentrate. Who are we to judge? Kosei pulls a chair out for me before seating himself in the one next to it. Seems I'm getting the real VIP treatment this evening. Awkwardly, I take the seat graciously offered, before staring down at my hands, tightly gripping the fabric of my pants. Come on, Mark. Just put up with you this whole time. The least you can do is make some light conversation. Where's your lunch? Have you already eaten lunch? Why? Jonesing for another helping of egg sandwich? No! I was just wondering. There's this lovely lunch van at the eastern end of the campus. Monica showed it to me. They sell sandwiches, burritos, pita pockets, paninis. Basically anything that can be eaten quickly on the move without making a mess. So to answer your question, I have eaten lunch, albeit on the way here. Who's Monica? La gasp! You don't know Monica, the class star? Monica's part of the music club, same as me. Neither Did you ever guess she had an interest in piano? That girl picks up and drops new hobbies like they're disposable straws. That being said, she is remarkably talented when it comes to music in particular, but don't ever tell her I said that. From the way he talks about her, I'm guessing these two have a history. I can guess what you're thinking. But no, Monica has never once expressed interest in me. And I myself have my sights set on another. He says that while staring at me intensely, causing me to squirm in my seat a little as redness creeps up my face. No, there's no way that's what he's implying. Would you like to meet her? Monica spends her lunch period in the music club room every day. I know she would enjoy the company. Would she really? Even if the company is me. I talk Peters out again. Kosei leans his arms on the conference table, simply staring at me with that damn smile of his. He's really gonna try and force me to take charge of the conversation, isn't he? I stared down at the royal blue hue of my uniform's trousers, my brain scrambling to think of something meaningless and inoffensive to sputter out. Instead it comes up with, why are you putting in all this effort? Invited me to lunch on my first day, showing me around the campus, and then continued to talk with me afterwards via text. Being so sweet to me and Kazori. I just don't know why you're still making the effort to be my friend. And who says it's even an effort? Why assume all of this is somehow inconveniencing me, that just sitting here and talking is some great difficulty I am struggling with. It is difficult, talking to people, I mean. And chemistry is difficult for me, but I heard from a certain someone that you absolutely crushed it in that class. If I told you that I choose to hang out with you simply because I find you interesting, I don't suppose you'd accept that as a satisfactory answer? No, didn't think so. I suppose it's because you remind me a lot of myself from a year ago or two ago. So now I'm being compared to a middle schooler. Fantastic. I was a lot like you. Sullen, withdrawn, saw the world in shades of monochrome grey. Thinking back, I don't remember a single thing I enjoyed throughout the day. And it's not like I didn't have friends either. My childhood friends, Tsubaki and Vitari, were always there. But even then, it all still felt cold, distant. The sky. How can he say all that with a smile on his face? I feel like I'm about to tear up just listening to it. But then one day, I broke into a run. I started doing all the things I regretted never doing. And a few things I regret doing now, for good measure. Those contact lenses that scared the heck out of me, I'm wearing them now. The musical scores that once bossed me around, now I play them my way. I even learned to bake my own pastries. So what changed? What was it that inspired you to turn things around? A lot of things happened in middle school. I met and reconnected with so many people and experienced so many new things that I couldn't pinpoint a singular reason why things changed for me. But my friend Vittori, he's a romantic, he would say, it's because I met a girl. A girl. What a cliche, right? But cliches aren't always bad, at least I don't think so. This girl, are you still with her? Yes, I am. Or at least, she is still with me. My heart sinks when I realize the implication of his words, and a deeply scored serenity now plainly visible in his smile. I'm so sorry. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. Dr. Seuss. That's just a cliche. Sure is. And there's plenty more where that came from. Did you know that music has the power to transcend words? I laughed despite myself. Despite knowing that crying would be a more appropriate response, I smile instead, subconsciously falling for Kusei's dumb little cliches. There's still not a lot I know about Kosei. I said Kusei again. Nor of whom he was loved and nor of whom he has loved and lost. To appropriate the aphorism of a certain someone, I only hope that one day my own smile could have half the beauty and strength of his. We all get to packing up our things. Briefly, I wonder how Midori was able to hear the school bell over her music. Before realizing, she probably just saw the time on her laptop. After slinging my backpack over my shoulders, I lead the way to the door before gently opening it. He's a very gently open the door type of person. We walk silently down the halls, making our way home from the administrative wing back to the classrooms. It's strange how Kosei so casually thinks to inflict my presence on others. Both Midori and that Monica girl. He's like a pimp passing me about between different people to entertain them. Being an upperclassman, Midori is of course the first to split off. We exchange pleasant goodbyes, Midori being as proper and ladylike as ever, and Kosei humoring her mannerisms. It isn't long before Kosei walks his own path as well. However, as he turns to leave, Kosei, thank you for this. It was really nice to hang out with you. The embarrassing earnestness of my words causes my face to heat up, aggravated even further by Kosei reaching out and patting my head affectionately for a good few seconds. I'll be seeing you around, Mark. Man, he's so cool. Oh, Kosei! I hope I didn't bum you out too much with our talk at lunchtime. It's fun, like I said. I really enjoyed the time we spent together. Although in the future, I'd prefer it was just the two of us. You haven't taken a liking to Midori then? No, that's not what it is. It's absolutely nothing personal against her. Don't worry, I get you. Prefer if things were a little more intimate, would you? I guess, though that's not how I would put it. Oh, Kitten, press upon me the impreachable chastity of your intentions. I cherish the thought of us growing closer, unseen and uninterrupted, as two fond friends with no rippled implications. A more poetic declaration of one's own virginity I have ever seen. I switch the phone off and see my own red-hot face staring back at me in the black screen's reflection. One of these times, I'll get the better of you, Kosei. So, who was that? Ugh. I don't think the ramen is sitting well with the banana bread I had earlier. Better settle myself into bed before I have another episode. I crawl under the covers, lie my head onto the pillow, and let the heavy weight of exhaustion pull me ever downward into the underworld. Why do only the people between the pages of a book make sense? I don't know. So we have Yuri. So that everyone around us is so cruel. No, wait, no, that's still Yuri. So since I had like one scene with Yuri, it's still the Yuri route. And it'll close in a second. Okay, so there was that route where since I had like one moment with Yuri, it kind of pulled me down like the Yuri, the story with Yuri will continue. But at least we kind of saw some things of the other characters. And I got one scene with Kazori. Hey, at least one time. Whoa. Well, at least I can feel a little better now, I guess. But yeah, I think I'll go with Natsuki next. But yeah. I'll put the credits here and say good night, evening, morning, or afternoon, and stay safe because I would consider this an ending of a route and it might take 2 videos anyway, so yeah. Here are the credits again. I am language, yeah.